In the spring of 1943, deep in the industrial heart of Kawasaki City, Japan, a new kind of war machine rolled off the assembly line, one that defied all Western assumptions about Japanese aircraft. Sleek, liquid-cooled, and armed with heavy machine guns, the Kawasaki Ki-61 Hien, Flying Swallow, looked more like a German Messerschmitt than a Mitsubishi Zero. To Allied pilots encountering it over New Guinea and the Solomons, it was a mystery. Was this a captured European fighter? Only later did intelligence confirm the truth. Japan had built its own inline-engine fighter, and it was being mass-produced in a sprawling factory operating at the edge of its limits. Step inside the Kawasaki Aircraft Company's plant in 1943, and you'd witness a nation racing against time, resources, and impending doom. A radical departure, Japan's only mass-produced inline-engined fighter. Unlike the iconic Nakajima Sake engines powering the A6M0, the Ki-61 used the Kawasaki Ha-40, a licensed, modified version of the German Daimler-Benz DB601 inverted V12 engine. This gave the Hien superior speed, up to 580 kilometers per hour or 360 miles per hour, a streamlined fuselage, and enhanced dive performance, critical for intercepting high-flying B-17s. But the engine was also the Ki-61's curse. Japan struggled to replicate German metallurgy and precision. Early Ha-40 engines suffered from overheating, oil leaks, and catastrophic failures. Factory workers, many of them conscripted students and women, worked 14-hour shifts to hand-assemble each unit, often using substandard bearings and lubricants due to Allied blockades. The factory floor. Ingenuity under duress. The Kawasaki factory, located near the Tama River, was a hive of controlled chaos in 1943. With U.S. submarines strangling Japan's supply lines, raw materials were rationed. Aluminum came from melted-down temple bells and household pots. Rubber was replaced with compressed cork in some seals. Quality control, once rigorous, began to slide under pressure to meet Imperial Army Air Force or IAAF quotas. Yet innovation persisted. Engineers developed wooden wings bars when aluminum ran low, simplified cockpit canopies to speed production, field-modifiable armament. Some Hien carried two 12.7mm Ho-103 machine guns and two 20mm Mauser MG-15 cannons, another German import. Assembly lines moved slowly by American standards, only 12 to 15 Ki-61s per month at peak, but each aircraft was largely hand-finished. Rivets were set by ear. Engine mounts were fitted with wooden mallets. Photographs from the era show workers in hoppy coats and geta sandals meticulously wiring cockpits by kerosene lamp during nighttime blackouts. The human cost. By 1943, Japan's labor force was fraying. Skilled machinists had been drafted. The factory relied heavily on schoolchildren from the labor mobilization program, boys as young as 14 drilling holes, painting fuselages, and hauling parts. Women, once excluded from industrial work, now made up nearly 30% of the workforce, though they were paid half of what men earned. Morale was a mix of patriotic fervor and quiet dread. Workers knew Allied bombers were coming. Air raid drills interrupted shifts daily. Yet production never stopped. A banner hung over the main hall. One plane, one American life. Combat reality versus factory promise. When the Hien entered combat in late 1942, it shocked Allied pilots. Its speed and dive capability allowed it to outrun P-39 Cobras and outmaneuver early P-40s. In the hands of aces like Major Teruhiko Kobayashi, commander of the 244th Sentai, the Hien became a deadly interceptor over Tokyo. But engine failures plagued frontline units. In the humid jungles of New Guinea, the liquid-cooled Ha-40 overheated constantly. Ground crews lacked spare parts. Some resorted to cannibalizing wrecked Hiens just to keep one flying. By mid-1944, Kawasaki switched to the Ki-61 with a more powerful Ha-140 engine, but the design was rushed and reliability worsened. Eventually, facing engine shortages, Kawasaki redesigned the airframe for a radial engine, creating the K100, ironically, one of Japan's best fighters of the war. The factory's fate. In April 1945, U.S. B-29 struck the Kawasaki complex in a massive firebombing raid. Assembly halls burned, machine tools melted, production ceased entirely. Of the roughly 3,000 Ki-61s built, fewer than 200 remained airworthy by war end. Today, only a handful of Hiens survive, most notably at the Smithsonian's Udvar-Hazy Center and the RAAF Museum in Australia. Their sleek lines still turn heads, a testament to what Japanese engineering could achieve, even under siege. Conclusion: a symbol of desperation and pride. The Kawasaki Ki-61 Hien factory in 1943 was more than a production site. It was a microcosm of Japan's wartime dilemma. Here, brilliance clashed with scarcity, tradition with innovation, and hope with inevitability. Workers built a fighter that defied expectations, yet they were betrayed by supply chains, metallurgy, and the tide of war. The Hien never turned the Pacific War, but inside that factory, for a few fleeting months in 1943, Japan believed it still could.